What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com, and I just wanted to make this video because Bitcoin is trading at almost 13,900, which was the high of 2019, and I just felt like making this video as this is happening right now and just sharing some thoughts. And let's have a look at the chart. So you can see over here as I'm making this, we're trading at 13,756. We are starting to see a crazy pump, and you can see over here, this is the thing that's been happening here. So you can see the 2019 here in June 2019, so last year, that is pretty much the exact level that it peaked, and then we had a massive drop all the way to 3,000. Now obviously there's some things that are different, but at the same time, you know, this price is going up pretty vertically. So what is going to happen? Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. There is a chance that this could be causing a double top. So in technical analysis, what happens is if something does top out at a previous peak level, especially when it moves into that with enormous upward movement, and by the time it gets to that level, that resistance level, it doesn't have any power left to break through it, and it just gets smashed down. So it is entirely possible that we could reach this exact kind of level, and we might get a drop back down. And to what level, I don't know. Maybe back down to the next obvious level would kind of be. Let me get this line over here. So the next obvious level would somewhere be around here. You know, if it would drop back, you know, it could do something like this and then continue higher. Now, what we could also see, obviously, is we could see a push up, like a crazy parabolic leg, like we saw here in 2019, straight through that 14,000, blast straight through it, maybe go up to like 16,000, then drop, you know, and move a little bit here, and then start the move up to 20K. So there are different possibilities here, and we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll know very soon, you know. So maybe even by the time you're watching this, you know, we could have dropped down, we could have pushed higher. So we'll know very shortly. But usually with the double tops, it is a rather precise level. So this previous high over here, 13,868, you know, it shouldn't go much higher than that. 13,900 maybe. If that's going to be a double top, it should sell off from about that level. But there's also a chance that, you know, we just go straight through it, because there's a lot of people also betting on taking shorts on Bitcoin because they think it's going to drop, or perhaps they're anticipating a double top and that kind of stuff, and then a blast through that 14,000 level. There's going to be a lot of stop losses here for shorts. If we get the short squeeze to 15, 16,000, well then, you know, all those shorts are obviously going to get liquidated, and it's going to suck in a bunch of long positions, and then it can drop, liquidate the longs, and then continue higher. But overall, over the past, you know, several weeks, but especially the past like week or 2 weeks, the news for Bitcoin has been absolutely insane. Like just in terms of the whole economic climate towards it. I mean, we've had PayPal come out and officially say they're going to be offering cryptocurrency to all their 300 million users. We saw JP Morgan today, you know, saying like, hey, their JP Morgan coin is starting to be used. Some banks in India are going to start offering cryptocurrency to exchanges, where, you know, for the past few years, all we've seen is FUD about India, like crypto is banned in India and blah, 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 blah. And now we're starting to see, hey, there's going to be like 34 banks in India that are going to offer cryptocurrency services. We saw today DBS, one of the biggest banks, I think the biggest bank in Southeast Asia by assets that they hold, they actually published a page on their website with a digital asset exchange. They actually ended up taking that back down for whatever reason. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was leaked, whatever the case was. But that was online, and a lot of people started sharing it, you know, within 10, 20, 30 minutes. And that page got taken back down again, but did manage to take a screenshot of what it looked like when the page was live. So all these banks, and this is all happening in the span of, like I said, a few weeks, where all this news is coming out that this is just happening. We've had the publicly listed companies, which you've heard me say like many times over the last few videos. I mean, MicroStrategy, that purchased the $425 million worth of Bitcoin, they're up something like 90 or $100 million on their position already. That is absolutely insane. And like, what is that signaling to other CEOs, other companies, other hedge funds that are basically like, hey, these guys made like a 20%, 25% return in a matter of a few weeks by buying Bitcoin, right? So there's going to be more people that are just going to get into this. Now, another thing that's playing a role, obviously, is the halving cycle and the 4-year cycle. So that's another thing that's interesting, is we're right on track with this 4-year cycle to repeat again. And if it does, there's no guarantees that it will. But if it does, that cycle tends to peak about 18 months after the halving. So again, if we're looking at, let's get this vertical line over here. So we had the halving approximately over there. And if we scroll back here, we had the previous halving in about July, just roughly somewhere over there, right? So we had this period after the halving, about 18 months. You can see if I take the ruler in terms of time, 520 days. I don't know what that is in months, but yeah, that's roughly about just over 18 months, something like that. So if we were to project that forward, once again, if the cycle repeats, well, then we're looking at about 520 days from this halving, which is approximately, let's see over here, so approximately September, October next year. So all these things together could really end up pushing us a lot higher on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And well, the next obvious target, which doesn't look crazy at all anymore, is basically just the 20K level and a retest of that. And it's very possible that this can be continued to push up, and that we can see this, within the next anywhere between like 2 and 5 months, I'd say, is a very good possibility that we will actually see that $20,000 Bitcoin level. And like I've said before, the crazy thing that's happening right now is we're trading at levels like 13,750. I've said this before. The last time this happened in 2017, the first time it happened, it was within 2 weeks that Bitcoin hit its all-time high and started this 3-year bear market, right? Now we're trading here and it's almost like nothing is happening. And sure, we've had a massive run up. I mean, just in March, we were trading at about $4,000. So we're up more than 3x there already. But you can see the ascent of this, the angle of how this is going is not as crazy. Look how steep this is. This is absolutely nuts. In 2019 also, it was very, very steep. Here, this year so far, we've had a much more relaxed kind of grind upwards. You can see there was a period of a long consolidation, then a move up, a move back down, more consolidation and move up. And this is good because it means that the market is taking time to adjust to the new levels, and it's not just a huge pump and then a dump and a pump and a dump. So we're slowly grinding higher, and the plateau, the kind of new normal level for Bitcoin, just gets higher and higher, which is now kind of, I would say, like above 10,000 might just be the kind of new base normal level for Bitcoin, and it can start to work its way higher. And once we get above that 20,000 level, well, then I think we're going to start to see some serious retail FOMO, where people are going to be like, wow, Bitcoin is back at 20,000. It's time I get back into this. I'm only starting to see right now where I'm starting to see some people, hit me up that are like, hey, I bought crypto in 2017. I haven't really done much with it. I'm looking to get back into it. What are some tips that you have, right? So I'm starting to see that slowly, but it's far from the euphoria and the mania towards that peak of 2017, in my opinion. So another thing is, we have Bitcoin leading, but one thing that happens a lot is in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin tends to lead and altcoins lag behind. And then we see Bitcoin pump and pump and pump, sometimes for a few weeks, and the altcoins do nothing, or they even drop in value, as we're seeing right now. Ethereum isn't really doing much. A lot of the altcoins are still not doing anything. Some of them from 2017 are still down more than 80 or 90%. And this is when people start to think like, hey, I'm holding these stupid altcoins. Bitcoin is just going higher. Maybe I just sell the alts and put them into Bitcoin. And then we see this acceleration of Bitcoin because that's exactly what happened. People start to buy more Bitcoin. But at some point, that's going to turn around. At some point, Bitcoin will have pumped enough. It's time for it to consolidate. It either pulls back or it goes sideways. And then money starts flowing into altcoins as a whole. And then the whole crypto market starts to pump like crazy. So how long that's still going to take, I don't know, but it is coming. That alt season is coming. So, you know, it might still take a few weeks. It might still take a month or two. But I think at some point, these altcoins are going to start pumping like crazy. And the ROIs on altcoins are going to be incredible compared to Bitcoin. So yes, Bitcoin has gone up and it's up 30% or 50% or 100 or 200%. But altcoins, we're going to start seeing, you know, 1,000%, 2,000, 5,000%, maybe even 10,000% with some of the very small coins that take off. So exciting stuff over here. And you can see Bitcoin's kind of struggling. It's getting kind of exhausted. I wouldn't be surprised to see it kind of pull back at some point. This is annoying. Why is it doing that? But yeah, basically, I just wanted to make this video and share my thoughts. We got this double top level, so we're going to have to see. We could get a sell-off here, and we could get a bit of a pause on the markets. But again, you know, the cycles, the halving cycle, we're 6 months into that. So, you know, we might still have a few months. There might still be room for one more pullback and a few more weeks of downwards action and consolidation. Maybe we'll see Bitcoin go back to the $10,000 level maybe one more time. I don't know if we will, but it is still possible. But at the same time, there's so much bullish news happening. And I think behind the scenes, there are a lot of people with big money trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as they can right now because they're just starting to see what's happening, the potential of it. Everything is just looking very, very good for Bitcoin moving forward. And obviously, if you're in a position where you have money and you want to protect it or you want to ride up that wave on Bitcoin that's coming, you want to try and get as much as possible, which is hard to do without affecting the price. If you want to buy 10, 20, 50, $100 million worth of Bitcoin, you can't go and do that just on an exchange because it's going to move up the price too much, right? So you have to buy it over the counter. You have to spread out your purchases. It's not easy to do. So I suspect that is happening behind the scenes. And I think things are looking just very, very good going forward. I mean, it's we got 3-4 days left of the month. I don't know. I think 3 days left of the month of October. If we can close above $13,000, that is the second highest close ever on a monthly chart. Yeah, let me show you. I mean, here we are. So monthly chart. Look here. The only time we closed higher than this and marginally was December 2017. And for the close, it means the full body. It means the price at the very last moment of that month. Each month, each candle here, the green or the red, represents a single month. So you can see here, the only time we closed above even 12,000 was in 2017. So it very much looks, you can never speak too soon. We've got 3 days left. Anything can happen. But if we close above $12,000, it's the second highest close in the history of Bitcoin on a monthly chart. And who knows, if we can close above 13,900 this month, it will be the highest close in Bitcoin's history ever. So keep that in mind. Things are very, very interesting, very exciting. Now, don't go and FOMO buy. That's the worst thing that you can go and do. You see the price go up and up and up and up, and then you wait till the last minute. You end up buying it because you just want to get in, that greed, that FOMO, and then the market just dumps on you and drops 10, 20, 30, 40%, and then obviously you feel horrible. Now the thing is, altcoins are still not moving yet, and they will get their day. So if you have been missing out on Bitcoin and you're kind of seeing Bitcoin go up and you don't have enough yet, don't FOMO into Bitcoin just yet. Sure, it could run up. It could go up 15, 16, maybe it'd go all the way up to $20,000. But don't go and chase anything just because you're seeing it go up, because towards the end of the cycle, it goes up very quickly and then it comes back down very quickly again. But the altcoins are still not getting the attention that I think they deserve. There's certain projects out there that I think are incredibly undervalued, and you know, I think that is an opportunity there. So you should be looking at altcoins, in my opinion, looking at undervalued projects that you can still accumulate before we start getting that massive pump, before we start getting a boom in altcoins. So that is pretty much it for me. I just wanted to share this update. It was pretty exciting. You can see in the time that I've made this video, Bitcoin has already dropped about $200. So there's definitely a bit of a battle going on. It hasn't quite reached that 13,900. So we might get a bit of a run up, but I'm starting to think, you know, that there's a good chance we might see that double top and then we drop. But long term, you know, over the next weeks, months, definitely over the next year or so, I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The altcoins have yet to see their day. So what you want to do is you want to accumulate when people aren't interested in it, and you want to start selling when everyone wants to start buying. Okay, that is the strategy. Keep in mind. Never risk more than you can afford to lose. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. So, you know, don't take this as financial advice. But I've been through the entire bull and bear market since 2017, and I've learned a thing or two. I just want to share that with you. Have a cash out strategy. Always protect your initial capital. When something goes up, nothing goes up forever. Okay, if you got big fat profits, take out your initial capital. At some point, start taking profits, because otherwise you're going to ride it all the way up and you're going to ride it all the way back down, and that is a crappy experience. Okay, so protect your capital, take profits, make sure you have a plan, accumulate when people aren't interested, and sell when everyone wants to buy. That is it from me. If you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up, please. It helps the channel. Leave a comment below. Tell me your thoughts on Bitcoin, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's completely free. Click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. After you do, you will get my future updates. And for the rest, I love you a long time. I will see you in the next video. Peace.